I think one of the things I did want to ask about is your thoughts on groups. We don't seem to have groups anymore, both
Mm,
male or female groups, and and there's a part of me that wonders because I've been seeing there's a number of people who that I follow on IG who go to a lot of concerts, 90s concerts, and when I see the old groups perform it there's a it seems to be cool when you just see three or four people up on stage performing. Then you see the one solo male artist singing, and it just doesn't seem at this stage. And back in the day maybe, but now it feels if I appreciate if there was a little team up there.
yeah.
And I wonder, there doesn't seem to be an appetite within the industry to go back to groups. I mean, back then we had hip hop groups. We had Wu-Tang
Right.
Clan and Boys and Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3 6 Mafia. We had groups, hip hop groups. Now we don't even have. It's almost as if everyone wants to be on their own. Do you think, and maybe not 90s artists, but do you think that if a group came out, male or female, that there would be an appetite?
I do. And let me go back because something you said is you feel like the industry doesn't have an appetite for it. Um, I disagree with that. I think that the industry, they're into cost-effective ways to make money. Groups, um, they take a lot more money and time to develop, but they've also seen groups turn a profit, like One Direction, BTS. There are groups in other genres that because they know the formula that works. Unfortunately, with Black, I think in the Black music realm, a
Mm.
lot of those departments, like I said, they've kind of like financially uh, cut back in so many different areas, and they've kind of given a certain blueprint of what they expect. You know, they are these guys have a science. They have this whole music industry thing to a science. They know this the lifespan, the shelf life of an artist. They know how long they probably pretty much their viability is.
Mm.
They know how much money to put into this to make this. So it's all a science behind closed doors. They know. Um, for them, it's not worth it for them to invest in groups in that way. I'm sorry, Black music R&B groups like that, because again, R&B is not what it was. It's not as viable and as profitable as it once was. Rap and hip hop is. That's what's moving the culture right now is hip hop. So that's where they're going to spend their money. But I do think the audience they do have an interest in R&B groups, but it has to be presented a certain way. I think that the way they've been marketed, the ones that have been out, have been marketed incorrectly. I think that they're trying to market R&B groups like their rap group, almost
Yeah,
like
but
they
I'm
don't
but I'm
sound
not
like
but
them.
I'm not necessarily talking about labels because labels will have their own agenda and stuff. But I'm just even saying that the appetite to we had
So when you
LSG.
ask, what are you asking about,
Yeah,
like the
so
appetite?
they well, I mean, because even if a label, because I mean, I think most of us, even if a label, one of the major labels, well, Sony, Universal, and Warner, decide, okay, we don't really want to sign an R&B group right now, but just individually, having we recently had Dave Hollisford, Donnell Jones, and I can't remember the third guy. He was on It was on Bad Boy.
Carl Thomas.
Carl Thomas announcing that they're coming to form a supergroup called Shy, and which maybe on tour would be great. They all sing each other's songs and then they release something. Um, Almost how much what LSG and even what Lucy Pearl did, how much if there's more of an appetite for that for the audience. So forget the
So
labels
who?
because for the fans to see, for see a
Oh,
super group of old school artists coming together to form a super group to be hit the road.
so you're talking about artists of yesteryear. I thought you were talking about like current now taste of
No, no,
trends of
you
music.
because you've spoken about today's new artists and stuff, and and
Oh,
and and
okay.
how the
Well,
labels aren't really pushing it. But I'm just then taking it a step further, thinking about artists from
I mean,
yesterday.
New Edition is very successful at what they do.
Yeah,
They have a value pack of artists. I mean, there's New Edition, and inside of New Edition, you have the BBD, you have the Johnny Gill, so you get
yeah, Ralph, yeah,
five
Bobby,
for the price. One.
six, yeah, well, yeah, what's this? Bobby, Ralph,
So
Johnny, BBD, yeah, so
yeah, so it's like the same thing can be done with, and we've discussed this before. I've had an idea of groups joining, solo acts and groups joining together to create a super group, and I thought that would be a better way for them to capitalize on their audiences and bring them
yeah,
together. But yes, I think what Chi-Town, which is comprised of Dave
Donnell,
Hollister, Carl
Donnell
Thomas,
Jones.
and Donald Jones, is a
Mm,
smart idea because collectively they have, it's the interest factor of what would they sound like, what type of songs are they going to do,
mm,
um, and then also they have their own catalogs that they're bringing to the shows where we're going to hear
mm,
I Wish, we're going to hear You Know What's Up, we're going to hear um, Before I Let You Go, or One Woman Man, or whatever.
mm,
So we're going to hear the songs that they have had success with individually. And I think that combines those audiences. Like, I'm
yeah,
a fan of Carl Thomas. I'm not necessarily a fan of Dave Hollister.
mm,
So coming to that show, he might gain me as a fan to, and enjoy his music a little bit more. That brings more attention to his catalog.
mm. But you think
So I
that
mean, I think it's a smart thing. I do
you
think it's a what?
no, you think that they worry about splitting the appearance fee into three compared to
At this point, as dire as the situation for R&B is, and touring and all that, I think that people need to get over that. If that was an issue, I
mm,
can't imagine it being an issue right now. Whatever money you can make it while you can.
yeah,
There's a wave right now for 90 nostalgia. A lot of people, that's where people are actually paying to go see,
yeah,
probably more than the newer artists. They're going to these 90s revival things and all that stuff like that. It's time to capitalize on that, even if it's in just a business venture, and it's not going to necessarily turn into an album. I think it's just a smart thing to do, and I
mm,
do think there is a market for it. We're all here for it. I would love to see other combinations. I would love to see other people, just like Genuine, Tank, and Tyrese did a group, and that could have been more successful than it was. But that was, a lot of people were interested in that combination. I just think the music didn't live up the guys collectively could have done. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that yeah. So it's viable. You don't think
yeah,
so?
yeah. No, it will, and I'd hope even the females, because I said we've talked a lot about the men, but I've not really
Female groups,
noticed.
they can't even deal with their own members, let alone.
No, but
But
I'm just thinking about female artists who would
hey,
just
die.
who would female artists who might come together to form a group or stuff, or even do what a Lucy Pearl did. It's
Yeah, that
you
would be
know
nice.
yeah,
But
but
then even Lucy Pearl couldn't work. But I think again, it depends on getting. I think with Carl Thomas, when we think about Shy Time specifically, Donald Jones, you've interviewed Donald Jones. I've seen a lot of interviews with Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas is a very laid back, easygoing guy, humble. Dave Hollister is a cool guy. I think that it really depends on also the personalities you get together.
yeah,
John O. Jones is very easygoing. I can't imagine him being very difficult to work with. So but you
yeah,
have the people that are very, like I said, that's what I have to go off of. So that's an example of one that would work. But again, I think it isn't a market. It is a market for that, for the artists of that time period. Yes.
yeah, and speaking to Donnell, he's not doing it for the money. He recorded a free album, gave
Right.
it away, and did videos. So it's not about the money, because he said he got well taken care of for his publishing stuff. So it would be just a labor of love, probably help with the touring and stuff.